That's a sign of game number 3 about to be underway. The battle bus has launched. Let's get on into it. We know Struggs took game 1, Blue Team with game 2. Who's coming out on top in game number 3?
It puts them in really good positions. Like you said, the top 33 from each of these qualifiers gets in the grand finals.
Yep.
So some of these players, we might not even realize it, but players like Blue Team, Nate Hill, Struggs, they've already accrued enough points that they might be good to go. The point being, though, you can't get comfortable. You're going to see people that are still going to they're going to maintain the way that they played in previous matches. They're still going to drop into POIs that are maybe a little less populated. They're going to go for safe gameplay, and we're going to see that, I think, over the course of all of this. People are going to favor third party. People are going to favor safe gameplay. Try and build up a big arsenal of materials. You see on your screen, Tilted already looking maybe one of the hottest drops in Tilted we've seen thus far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players there. And up here, Pleasant Park, it's Pleasant Park for a reason, Jack.
Yes, it is quite pleasant right now, only a couple players. Blue T, I think, again, landing at this house, a very similar location. Again, I referenced it earlier. This is where I actually landed for the E3 Pro-Am, but back then, this was a completely different area to loot because they had the crater still then, which obviously the map has been updated. And at the crater, there was like 3 or 4 chest opportunities. So there was more loot in that area. Now you kind of go there and you can still get a ton of wood. There's multiple mushroom spawns. And it's kind of one where you're like, I get one big house that's got a couple chests in it and hope that after that and the wood I have will be enough to kind of carry me through the start.
Now, in competitive matches, rotations are a very, very big part of putting yourself in a good position. And that term is basically what path do you take, where do you go, how do you play it to put yourself in a good position for the follow-up circles and where other players are going to be trending to move from. And Blue Tee, the winner from last round, landing at that house, at that point, with the position of the circle, moving into Pleasant, not necessarily the best choice. You see you're getting caught off guard. This is that Tilted is going to be hot. But Blue Tee, we'll see as this match plays out where he moves. That gameplay, that movement, if you're trying to improve your gameplay at home, that's going to be something to watch.
I believe Dremin wants Dimes, who is completely weak behind that wall, and that's a brilliant stink. That might eliminate him. That's how weak he was.
5 HP. It takes 5 HP, and that's all he needed.
And Dimes right now, I can tell you, he's not happy.
Doubtful.
He's probably saying words that I can't say on broadcast to himself right now as Dremin's going to continue to hunt.
He's still not alone here. At least 2 other players, I believe, are in this area. There's one to the west, there's one to the east, and one to the north around this area. Now, Vivid is somebody that we've been talking about a lot, and this is early game. Vivid goes down 95th,
Sheesh.
That means next game he's gonna pop off because that's who he is. Snood gets eliminated by Zate, an excellent player. The jump there and shot from the AR gets a headshot. I believe that was 76 damage. Back up here in Westworld, Karath's kind of looking around. He's looking to get a single shot.
And one thing I do want to point out just for everyone at home as this fight goes down, we'll go ahead and let this conclude, and then I'll get into what I was going to bring up. You see players trading damage right now. Dremin trying to stay alive. There's the quick headshot. Bye-bye Carrots. And there's a golden legendary assault rifle for you as a reward. Dremin already 2 elims. This could be the 3rd right here if he can somehow take down Crypto, and it won't happen. But the point I was going to bring up, tiebreakers will be determined in the following order. Total victory royales, total eliminations during the event, average placement across the games, and then finally a coin flip. So, the big thing is the elims during the event, during these qualifiers, versus the average placement. You just saw that 95th for Vivid with 0 elims is not going to help him in either way in those tiebreakers where, remember, top 33 move on. But again, not everyone's going to have points, so it could come down to 15, 20 people who have 0 who are trying to move on through.
Because of the tiebreakers, that means that even if you don't get enough eliminations to secure a point, playing for a solid, even just 1, can mean the difference between making it in or not. Because if you have a large number of players that are tied for 33rd, 1 or 2 eliminations could decide whether or not you squeak through to the next round. Hysteria in the feed, sniping Cosmo, who we followed last game in a couple cat and mouse engagements, a 22-meter snipe, but this is back in Tilted. So one of these players is going to wait for a third party. Lavish actually might be too far away in the top of the gray building. Up here in Junk, way in the northwest corner. Freak trying to get a few shots in. The build fight coming out. Cans himself in, or his opponent cans him in with a floor. He's going to try and build and counter and get up top. Goes for an edit and a peek shot.
Oh, now Marksman for the third party. Marksman now dropped way, way low. He's trying to pop minis in time. Not gonna happen.
I believe the third party might be Blue Tea, who pushed north potentially at this point.
No, it's Diabolic. It's Diabolic. And that's right now. Marksman is so upset, but that's the way of the road. That's just how it works.
He's sneaking around. The audio cues again. He's trying to find where Freak went. That building, moving inside the building, and you see he might be standing at the top of something. Might be standing at the top of stairs there.
Yep.
Kind of between floors, waiting to listen for Diabolic's push, maybe choose which direction to go, or even just a bait play. If he has like a trap, he can wait for Diabolic to move inside, place the trap, and start engaging with a shotgun.
Trying to break on in. What will he spot? Freak is somewhere down here. Remember, the storm just began to push up, and they are out of the zone.
They're not terribly far, but it's far enough that you can't wait too long.
I'd love to if we can potentially just pull up the map for a second. And
that's the snipe.
That was the replay from earlier.
The replay from earlier. That shot from Hysteria. A very, very quick snipe.
I'd love to potentially bring up the map when we get a chance, when some of the action dies down for a moment, just to see how central this zone is. As Freak is going to go ahead and try to push the agenda on this engagement. Does he get the wall down? He does, but the player should just build above him. And Freak realizes it. Now he's going to try to fight for this high ground, but look at how high up his opponent is. Freak I think he's got the high ground back.
Blocks his opponent out, who backs up. He's trying to go for Oh, man. The top-down advantage swap back and forth over and over again. These players always trying to outbuild each other, and they're so good at it. They keep swapping positions.
Ooh.
A ton of fall damage. Takes a shot. This Freak is going to try and hide underneath. He's very low on materials. 3 builds left from Freak. Diabolic has the top down and the shotgun out.
Look at this.
They're both popping slurps simultaneously.
The zone is there, folks. And there's the view of that map. Look at how central this zone is, Lupo.
Gets a little tap. They're tickling each other as they try and move inside the zone at the same time. Difference here, Diabolic has a ton of builds.
Oh my
A ton of materials left. He's going to go for this peek shot with the shotgun. And there it is.
What
Freak goes down.
Beautiful juke right there. Diabolic playing with his opponent there. Will go ahead and get that elim, and now he's got to immediately run. There is a rift area.
The Easter Island head out there that he runs into. A number of those spawn around there.
So he should have some opportunities to rift out.
He's lucky enough in one's there. He can make his way in with a rift. If not, I think the distance is coverable still. That he can get all the way in. Right now, the scoreboard, by the way, Nate Hill's the only player left alive with 2 eliminations. Dremen had 2, but he's been eliminated early. So Nate's in a good position. Second from last game. Blue Tea is still out there moving around. Jack actually just picked up his 2nd elimination as well. The view here. Here's a Diabolic.
He did get the rift.
The rift, as we were saying, that's the position that you want to be in. The rift changing his approach big time. The southeast corner here, Kayun looking around in a kind of a tight 1v1. Right at the edge of the zone, potentially third partying.
Yep. Just looking for anything here.
Somebody just hanging out in the open.
120 damage pop and just a quick little reset. As you see, people already playing the edge of the zone. Zate
just waiting. Chances are at this position, he was waiting. He heard his opponent or potentially ran into him right before that. He's even triangle building himself in to prevent his opponent from doing so and quickly editing through as he moves up. The defensive builds, that right now seems like the big, it's the game changer between an extremely good player and a scary good player. His opponent actually built up a ramp.
That's all he can build. He's out of builds. Look at how awkward this is right now for Salt. He's still got a ton of HP, though, and he's going to look for a reset of the fight. He's very low on ammo as well. This is another one of those scenarios, Lupa, where Salt has to win this. This is an all-in fight. If he like disengages, what does he have to his name? Some SMG ammo? No way.
You even see there, he forgot he ran out of materials. He tried to build to protect against Zate's push, and it wasn't enough.
That was just, your hand is forced. When you've got that little, it's like, I have to fight this guy, because if I leave this, I can't build. I have no ammo to shoot people. I have to take these materials. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him there.
Interestingly enough, too, right before the cutaway from Zate, he had almost no materials on his own.
Yep.
So at that point, a push from both players was the only option, or they run away from each other, which in a situation like that, especially a top-down advantage, it's not going to happen. Johnny here looking down to try and take advantage of maybe a weakened opponent underneath him. He doesn't realize Huckle Guy almost half of Johnny's HP. The trap going out, kind of a protective trap just in case his opponent builds up underneath him, tries to sneak into a situation, or even a third-party push happens, which with the way that these players have been playing, kind of unlikely. I almost feel like some people can assume there won't be third-partying some of the time. A rift off in the back there, but Johnny is not worried about that right now. He's worried about this opponent, Huckle Guy, getting on top of him.
Oh, he just left.
And he said, no thank you, I'm gonna head out here. You see on your screen, tons of players with 2 eliminations.
Wow.
Nobody has 3, no single point for elim count yet, but it's gonna happen soon.
Yep. A lot of people could tick forward with this one.
A lot of people very far from the storm too. One player even over 500 is Amaze. EU Amaze is
Sheesh.
560 meters from the storm, the next circle. He has a long way to go, and it looks like a lot of these players do. That means that people are gonna start running into each other on the move.
Yep.
And they won't have structures built. There won't be a layer of safety there, so you're gonna see a lot of, like we saw earlier, phase replays taking that shot on the move, the snipe shot while they were trying to push with the zone. That's gonna happen in situations like this with so many players.
Here's an example of it right now. It's going to be KU and try to push on in. Watching their back for a second. They obviously don't have all the information we do.
All these players moving simultaneously.
It's a feeling where you're like, I won't shoot you if you don't shoot me. Like you're thinking in your head, like, please don't.
Gentleman's agreement.
Please
no,
don't.
thank you. As we were just talking about replays. Lucky for everybody, he's not sitting on a sniper rifle right now.
Right.
But he still has a very powerful up-close loadout. Even that the Portafort can come in handy in very close 1v1 engagements where you need structure instantly. That thing builds tons of metal. Give you a top down on a player. Now, Dester, we watch.
This is an abysmal position.
It is a bad spot. He is
one
underneath.
Build. He has one build, and look.
The storm's
Papa
still moving.
Storm is there.
He's got to move. Duble's got to move. He does have a campfire. He doesn't necessarily have to move just yet.
He's playing for this one elim. And unfortunately for him, Diggy's above him still.
Now, I'm not even sure Duble's playing for the elimination. In this situation, he had a slurp rolling and put down the campfire. He's playing for the storm to push his opponent away so he can move at just the right time. He doesn't necessarily have to engage, but he does need his opponent to leave. Otherwise, it might kill the feed for him.
Oh, gosh. Diggy is at 4 elims right now, so this would be a 5th elim to earn 2 points this game. Diggy peeking. Does he decide to pop the medkit? It doesn't appear so as of yet. He wants this fight. I think he's worried about his opponent potentially dropping the storm down to just 16 HP to build up.
It's too
he
late
does
to pop
get above
that
his
medkit.
opponent.
He's got to go for the elimination.
Look at how quick. Oh,
he
my
gets it the last second.
The trap elim, and there he goes. Diggy with 5 elims in the last moment. A brilliant trap there to earn the final point.
He opted to die to the storm, get the 5th elimination for the 2nd point instead of healing.
That man was doing that all on a controller.
Absolutely mind-boggling.
Are you kidding me?
Top of Dusty here, Ashton built up.
They've watched a lot of Nick Merckx, I can just tell.
Oh, yeah. It explains why he drop tilt. Actually, I don't know if he drop tilted all the time.
Just made that up.
If you watch too much.
It explains why he's flexing his trap muscles.
Exactly.
There you go.
Ashton moving off of Dusty. This situation, there, he's pretty far, maybe one of the furthest players from the zone because you see there on the screen the position. The number of players, there are actually not very many on the west side, almost nobody in the northwest corner, but the south side is, because it's the circle is so far northeast, the south side of the zone, if you're down there, you're in a bad spot. Early move is going to be, in my opinion, better. You get into the safe zone quicker, but you see there around the tunnel, the map just a second ago, there were a lot of players built up in that area, which means third partying is going to be heavy if you're moving in from the south. Maybe early movement, it should be running through everybody's mind.
Yep.
Get in the zone, get safe, and you can join on the third party, party, as they say. I don't think they say that, but
I think I've never heard that, but I like it.
Not a single time. We're starting it now, Jack.
Whoa, look at the inventory now for Top Boy. Got the shotgun swap, the SMG spray. Jug.
Launch pad. Over 1,000 material, 1,200 material. He's got a ton of build. Top Boy's in a great spot.
He wants this build early.
Looks like a build fight. His opponent right there.
And this is a sign
away.
of an opponent that they're not looking for a fight.
Nope.
Even though Animal still has that much health, he can almost play mind games. If you're Top Boy, you're thinking, wait, this guy's playing extremely defensively. I'm thinking he doesn't have much health,
exactly.
right? Meanwhile, Animal's full HP. He's more than ready for a fight.
Top Boy maybe making the decision here and say, okay, you can stay down underneath me. I'm going to sit at the edge of the circle and play safe, get some more material, because just a moment ago he was at 800. He burnt almost 300 material just in that engagement, just pushing over the top of Animal, who is an editing machine underneath, making sure that he's safe, as many layers between him and Top Boy as possible. The speed of these edits, man, just blows my mind sometimes.
It looks like he just turned his head, but instead he also edited his ramp to reset. Like, okay. And right now, most eliminations. Diggy we saw with 5 earlier on. Ironically enough, the longest elimination is from Salt at 173 meters.
Wow. 40 players. The dance moves from Top Boy, is that almost a taunt?
I think so.
Saying, I'm up here and I'm not leaving. We're roommates now.
That's a statement.
Ashton, a lot of players right here, Jack, we've seen that a ton of times. What's the point of that kind of building? Right there, building the surface above you. Why do these competitive players do that?
It's simple. Cover. He sees these 1x1s right next to him. He sees these players in these little towers. What are they going to do? They're going to shoot down on you. So how do you protect yourself? You build yourself a roof. Simple as that. Asha now looking for the reset. He wants to move early. He's going to land right on this player at the temple.
It's well now. He's going to build more of those layers above the cover. And then he put himself in a safe spot. He's bunkered down in Tomato Temple.
Kind of taking a breather, right? He just did so much movement. He's going to reset for a second, kind of get his foothold, look around, see who's in his surroundings. I think it's also key to stop and just listen. Where are fights happening? Where can I potentially third party? Like this, for example. Building those windows, it gives you an idea that he's kind of thinking, okay, I'm looking to shoot someone in the back, maybe pick up a free limb. Because he only needs one more limb to earn a point.
Yeah, he's watching through. These players, they'll do an edit and they'll reset immediately because as the ball, especially with the brick, as the bricks are filling in the gaps, you can see through what hasn't been filled in as the HP fills up.
Yeah.
And so he might not be editing, but he's still looking through, trying to watch for opponents on rotation, see if it's an opportune time to stick his head out and take some tap fires at people. Severin moving right now, trying to get in the zone early. He's staying underneath people. Doesn't realize, yes, Brandon is right above him. He's got a number of other players that he's moving underneath. I think at this point, you can almost assume at least 3 people are above you no matter where, because there's 36 people left and the next zone is closing. This is the last one. Jack Fort starts to move, and that's where we're going to see big waves of eliminations, players putting themselves.
And it's still really another northeastern zone. Yep. You see that? People still having to move up to that northeast.
Top Boy and Animal still both alive, still both moving basically in the same cadence right now as they're trying to get in the zone. Uh-oh. Here we go. The switch of position. Animal's now above Top Boy. Actually, that's not Animal. Basuji has moved in above Top Boy, trying to get into maybe a last-second elimination as the zone's closing in here. And they're both outside the zone. They're going to have to make a move here. Basuji decides to move up. He's getting shot from that might be Animal above.
He's not getting third parties. He's getting 7 partied. Literally everyone is shooting at him right now.
30 people and half the lobby is unloading medium rounds on whatever he builds.
And apparently he's still alive.
Somehow. You see he's got Basuji roughly 30, 40 HP. Top Boy and Animal now fighting it out yet again. It's like Wailing Woods rematch.
28 players remaining. Here's Lavish earlier on.
Gets Johnny inside Tomato. Down underneath, a spray from the SMG.
And can you tell what side of the zone we're on? All these people stacked? Yeah, this is where they had just moved in from the far end of the zone. Povsey, who we saw with the awkward bounce pad play earlier.
You'll see
he's actually already in the next zone area.
You'll notice he's not carrying any bounce pad at this time.
He saw them earlier, just dropped them on the ground.
No, thank you. A lot of top-down play. Punisher in a really good spot, but remember, the top of these buildings right now is not necessarily the biggest advantage. We've seen a lot of crazy plays from underneath. You can have people that will capitalize on your build if you're very high. They'll use explosives to drop your structure down and catch you off guard as you're falling in. Those eliminations are big too, because you take people out of their towers, you reset structure, and that means that you can decide what to build there if you take that position. They could be in really good spots. These players are gonna have to move northwest here.
That was 3. That's 3 for phase replays, putting him in at 1 point this game.
A replay from earlier, a replay of replays from earlier. See that? Oh my gosh, the shotgun shot on Kayun. What a play there. 26 left. Punisher is in a wonderful spot right now. But the number of players underneath, Psalm, Nogops, DMO, Vide. You have so many people here.
Sitting patiently waiting. He's got to move so far. Top Boy's going to definitely use his launch pad here. Almost certainly. There it goes.
Moving into the zone now. He's got to decide where to go, and that's going to be rough. There are a lot of structures here, and nowhere is safe.
Except for here.
Maybe right there, the one spot that he could build. Even then, and here you go. Like, everybody's trying to move in right now. These builds just put up as many layers as they can. Animal's moving into the bounce pads. He still has 2 left, so he can make a play. He can make a push. And Turkey Lips trying to get the third party from the top of the building, taking those the purple AR tap fire shots.
Every player with 3+ elims has been eliminated.
They're shot.
Turkey Lips
getting his 3rd elim there. That gives him a point for this round. Saint going down outside of that. And Animal gets eliminated as well. Turkey Lips securing that one. That's his 4th elimination. One more will put him at 2 points, Jack. But he's got to take a second here to heal. Yep. And hopefully nobody heals
look at that. He's the only player still in contention with eliminations. Try to push towards that top 10 to earn another point as well. One more limb would net him another point. Turkey Lips, someone we got to keep an eye on in this game as it continues to develop. No heals, though, for his HP.
Trying to build up a little, the back out to jump and ramp so he can get up on top.
What a shot that is.
The top right corner of your screen, the top center, every edge except for the south side. Povsy might be in the best position of everybody because there's nobody around him. He can wait.
He's just chilling at the moment. Turkey Lips still in this building. He's so frantically hoping, Lupo, that someone just peeks too far that he can get a free shot on.
He's trying to take advantage of this too. All these different structures going up, and he has 1 grenade left. You got to make this one count.
I don't think it didn't happen. Morgoth eliminates Diabolic. Vide eliminates Nikiski.
The storm starts to move. That bottom right corner, tons of players are going to be forced into engagements with each other. 12 left, 2 more go down.
Gone. That was Turkey Lips with another limb. He's earned himself 2 points. Look at the edits. He's lost the high ground. Turkey Lips making monster plays right now. He's got players in front of him again.
It's like Punisher has basically 0 HP. All he needs to do is breathe on him funny and gets another elimination. Punisher actually goes down to Brandon, and everyone moving in there. But right now, what's funny, everybody was forced north, and now they've moved south.
He's getting trapped. Oh, what
Are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, no, Turkey Lips. What a play. Uses that new double barrel to blow up that wall in front of him. And just like that, he says, Posey, my friend, no. That ain't happening. Gets the high ground, and now he's looking for the retake in this engagement. What a play to dodge the trap.
9 players left. Everyone that's left alive now has at least 1 point.
That launch pad looks so juicy.
Just outside the zone. I would bet you in this situation, Psalm will push with that and utilize it.
The zone's going to push that way.
He's in a great spot for it. He's going to get there ahead of everybody else. Here it comes.
He can wait and then use that at the last second. Watch. Boom. High ground.
Fly with it.
He might hit it again.
Come back. He's trying to get ahead. He does realize somebody's there. Doesn't know that it's 72 hours. Now Brandon's using it. That might be one of the most used launch pads in this game.
Turkey Lips with 6 elims. How has he done this with just 70 HP?
Getting caught outside the zone. The tick, and he died.
Earned himself another point, though, for top 10. Povsy now on the high ground. Building on up. Top 5 players now. Povsy in the top 5. Needs 1 more limb to earn a point, though, for eliminations this game.
Shots down below. He knows at least 1 player's trapped inside there. Kind of trying to poke a little bit, maybe get a reveal on somebody and see if he can. He might even be able to provoke.
That's not held up by a lot. That's not held up by a lot at all.
The majority is outside the zone too, so he won't be able to build and reinforce it. If somebody sees that, they can take him all the way down, but he's going to move before we even get to that point. He wants to get involved with these fights. There's a chance that he could get a third-party kill on somebody that's not watching. It's elimination and
no mats.
72 hours down.
Look at the rest of his inventory though. Look at the med kit, the chug jug.
Dual drum guns.
That's all you need, I guess.
72 hours probably looking to play for the very last circle to close, but having no builds remaining is going to be really tough. There is somebody inside there, the drum gun. Hold down that left mouse click and see if he can knock in. Move around the outside. He's going to try and make a play. A flank.
Are you kidding me?
72 using the storm to hide and gets the elimination on Psalm.
1 versus 1. 2 players remaining. 72 hours trying to stay alive. He's got no builds left. It's Brandon who's close. Only 31 HP. If this goes down to a heal fight, 72 hours wins it. Without a case, but there's the engagement trying to build on up. A quick shotgun blast. The second comes in as well. Brandon down to just 54 HP. 72 hours. Popping minis. The zone's closing on in. He's got to go for this right now. Brandon dropping out in. 72 hours into the zone. Oh,
are you kidding me?
drum gun wins the game and earns those